Hey YouTube land, welcome to another action figure review by Tycondrius. Now today is something very special that I recently got, as in it arrived yesterday at the time. Well, at the time this video goes up, hopefully it had arrived yesterday. And it's my first inkling, not into this company's figures, but more into this particular line. So I have picked up figures from this company before, and the company in question is Super 7. I've picked up some of the Ultimates line, most notably the TMNT Ultimates with Shredder, well, most of the waves, the current waves of TMNT stuff. And I also picked up some of their Conan Ultimates, as in I picked up, I keep going to say Mauler Ram, but it's not, it's the other guy, Tussla Doom. The guy that does the voice for Vader, and his name is falling out of my head. So James Earl Jones, or Sir James Earl Jones, in one of his kind of iconic movie roles. But this is something different. This is technically part of their G.I. Joe line, but it is also something else entirely. So this is the box it comes in. What's interesting is it does have the G.I. Joe logo on the back. It didn't come in one of the brown mailer boxes like some of the other stuff. In fact, if I bring in one of the other ones I have, which I haven't done reviews of because I haven't got around to it, most of the boxes come inside one of these brown mailer boxes. This particular one didn't. It just came in a baggie, which has already been removed for obvious reasons. So it comes in the similar style boxes with the slip cover, and then you have G.I. Joe logo, and the name of this particular character is Red Jackal, the weapon supplier. Now, I don't remember him being a weapon supplier in the original run, but there is a reason they probably used it. So there is a write-up for him. In fact, if I just turn around this, just adjust my camera a slight bit, you will be able to see that they conveniently repurposed images of Destro from the cartoon, which is kind of ironic. There is a reason for that. We'll get into that in a second. So this is Red Jackal, and in the brackets it says UK release, weapon supplier, file name unknown, primary military specialty infantry, secondary military specialty is tank driver, birthplace Riga, Latvia. Red Jackal's real name is Anton Nobovuk, which is funny because they don't say his file name, and it says unknown in the top. He joined the Soviet army, displaying a natural talent for driving, but failed to adjust to other aspects of life in the Soviet military. Despite this trait, he was recruited to a unit with the codename Jackal. Whilst on assignment transferring officials to a conference in Finland, the convoy he was leading was ambushed, and Nobovkov escaped by driving his vehicle into a long-strewn river and using the felled trees as a raft. Following a series of operations, Nobokov emerged as the Red Jackal, altered with bionic technology, in particular his armored steel plate head, bionic hands, and powerful vision. So this guy is a homage. He was done as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So if I just flip around the front of the box, you can see where all these gear goes. It was done as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive by Super 7, and is based on the Red Jackal, which is a repaint of this chap. So this chap is an original 1983, I believe, or does it have a date? I want to say 1982. I could be wrong. I can see it, but I can't read it on his leg. But this is an original Destro from, Cobra the Enemy Destro, with his vac metallized head, his pistol, and his backpack with his little weapons cache in it. This isn't the one I originally had as a kid. This is one I picked up way later, but his joints are super tight for a figure this old. He's like nearly over 40 years old. But originally, when these guys were released in the UK, he got a redeco with his chest painted red, and there was a skull and crossbones logo for the Red Shadow Legion on his torso, but the rest of the figure was pretty much the same thing. So they left him as is, just with a red chest and that skull and crossbones logo. So what Super 7 have done is they've pretty much done the same thing. So you have him with his red centerpiece, which is normally skin tone color on the Destro version, with his medallion being repainted black, and he has the iconic Red Shadows skull and crossbones. Now I believe the head is also redone, because I think in the Destro version he actually has normal eyes, whereas this one has the red pupils. So I think that is a change as well. But other than that, it's essentially the same Destro figure. Oh, and I think the Destro figure they released actually has silver hands instead of the black gloved hands. They're really nice. It's like a gloss black. It's not the same black as the kind of matte of the bodysuit. Same with the boots. The boots from the boot down has a kind of a slight gloss to it, but he still retains a lot of the same stuff. So he comes with his wrist rockets and his wrist grenades, which is a nice touch. What's interesting about him is you actually get 2 sets of them, so you can actually have him armed with 2 sets of the grenades if you want, or have him have double wrist rockets. I didn't seem to see any indication of there being a dedicated left or right version, but if you want him to have dual wielding wrist rockets, you can, or if you want him to retain his more classic look, you can put those back on. It is interesting to note that the gizmo on his left hand isn't really grenades. They don't look like grenades, but every iteration of Destro since has put grenades on his wrist. Kind of a really dangerous place to put grenades for some reason, but it's the way they do it. So he comes with some unique accessories and some, well, I wouldn't say unique accessories, they're reused as accessories. So he comes with the pistol that the original version of the Super 7 Destro comes with. It's the same one, but just done in an all red plastic, kind of a nod to his Red Shadow Legionnaire or Legion. He comes with this binoculars. Again, this is a accessory that the original Destro comes with, and it's quite nicely detailed. It's probably a bit hard to see. It has some little buttons on the side. On the one side it has, like, I believe it's a sticker for the, I don't know if it's a paint app or a sticker. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks more like a sticker for the viewfinders on both sides. He comes with his laughing head sculpt with his eyes closed, which is kind of a nice one. And he has these more yelling head sculpt. The default one is the one that's on his head. Again, he comes with those 2 things. He comes with this pistol. Now, I believe this pistol doesn't come with the original version of Destro. From what I was looking at, it looks like it's the same pistol that comes with the Baroness figure that they're doing. So the grip is actually a lot more smaller. So if you look at the pistol and the handle grip for the 2, this one is more dedicated for the male figures. This one has a slightly smaller one grip on it, so it looks like it was more dedicated for the female hands. They do fit in the hands easily. The one weird thing I will say about his hands, now he has 3 sets of hands. Both are the same hand, just left and right. So you have 2 trigger finger hands, you have 2 grasping hands, and then you have, the way he comes in the box is comes with the punching hands as his default hand. So these are the 2 punching ones. The punching ones have a horizontal hinge, where the trigger hand, and I believe the grip hand, trigger and grip has a vertical articulation point. And He also comes with this really nifty backpack, which does slip over his back. It may look like it's a new piece, but it's not. This is actually the same backpack that comes with the Super 7 Flint Ultimate figure. It's just done in black, and they added paint apps for the dynamite that's on the back. If you look at the Flint one, it's this backpack, but it's done in just, I believe it's just in flat green. I'm not even sure if the grenades are painted on that, but I know this grenade, or the dynamite part on Flint's one, isn't painted, and I'm not sure if the canteen cover is painted, but it is the same backpack that comes with Flint. But it is a nice nod. It's just something to change him up a bit, so he doesn't come with just the exact same accessories as Destro. So we'll grip the old tape measure and bring that in. So this guy stands around just a little over 7 inches. This is a 7-inch line, and now it is a very cartoon inspired line, but you can still get away with using him with stuff like the Marvel or the DC multiverse, because they do tend to be in the same scale. He will look a bit kind of more cartoony, but if you have something like Masterverse, you might get away with it that way. You might look at home with them. If you want something a bit different to add to the shelf, you might look at home on that shelf. I mean, I can bring in, this is the Batman, this is the Robert Pattinson Batman. You can see, even though this is a more realistic look, this is more cartoony. It can get away with it, especially for characters like Destro, who doesn't have the kind of standard skin tone that, you know, doesn't make him look too overly cartoony. But like, other than that, he is cartoon inspired, even though Red Jackal himself was never in any cartoons. He was in comics, but he was never in cartoons. So I'm going to take off his gear. These things aren't glued on, so you can kind of put them the way you want on the wrists. So there is that option. You could almost maybe get away with having 2 on the one. Kind of. It doesn't really work because the grip part goes around the wrist. Now I have noticed, because I've had the pistol in his left or in his right trigger hand, it does outstretch it. So I have noticed that because of that, his hand doesn't grip the smaller pistol. That's why I have it in his left, because it's been outstretched a bit from holding that larger pistol grip. The other thing that looks kind of funky, so you can see his finger doesn't actually go into the trigger guard of the pistols. Either of them is the same thing. So if I bring in that one again, I'll try not to drop it. If I bring in that one, you can see his finger kind of just rests over the trigger of the pistol. I'm not sure if that's the same on all the figures. It could be. It's just a minor nitpick on my side, on my part. I prefer figures with, you know, who hold weapons to be able to have the ability to hold them in their hand, or have the trigger finger in their hand. So we'll get on to the articulation. So his arms can go up that much. He does have bicep swivel. He does have single hinged elbows, which do get a little bit, just about 90-degree bend. There is also a swivel in that hinge for the elbow. Again, depending on which wrist you have in, you have the up down, and you have the in out for the punching fists. His head is on a ball joint. Now, unlike the classics version, or not classics, classified, or the retro classified line, he doesn't have that double neck joint. He just has the one at the base of the neck, not the one at the base of the bottom of the neck where it connects with the body. It's just the one where it connects to the base of the head. But he can look left and right pretty good. Can't really do a 360 because of his massive collar. It is a solid piece. He does have waist swivel and a little bit of back, but not much in the way of forward. He can kick forward pretty well. Can't kick back at all because of the way he's sculpted. He can really only do the splits that much. He does have a thigh swivel, which is quite nicely hidden. He does have a single jointed knee, which gives a good just over 90-degree bend. There's no swivel in that. I thought when I originally saw it, there was a kind of swivel, but there isn't. he does have rocker ankles, and he has peg holes on both his feet. So you can get some good dynamic poses with this guy. In fact, if I get his wrist rockets, and you can kind of have him shooting his laser gun. So you can have him in kind of dynamic poses depending on what way you want to do it. But overall, he is a really good figure. Now, would I recommend picking him up? If you're happy with just the Destro version, I would go for that. This guy is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, so again, he's going to be more expensive than the standard kind of figures. I picked this guy up mainly because, as I said, I'm a huge fan of the Red Shadows, and Red Jackal has always been a fan favorite of mine. So much so, I even customized my own one. Again, using Destro parts, just like the original. I made my own custom one with the head looking more bionic because of the whole, it's supposed to be a bionic head more than a mask. Like Destro wears a mask, whereas this guy's head has been replaced by bionics. So there's that kind of difference between them. Unfortunately, I don't have any other Super 7 figures to showcase beside him. But after getting this guy, I think I might pick up one or two more. I know there was a Cobra Trooper on the way, and there was a Cobra Commander. So I might pick up the Cobra Commander, see how he stacks next to his technically Destro counterpart. There's a Destro as well, which I'm seriously considering picking up. Interesting thing about the Destro one, from what I've seen, he only has a single one of these each instead of the double. I'm not sure why they gave double for him, but maybe it's just to make him look a bit different to Destro on the shelf, just to make him stand out a little bit. But overall, he is a really cool figure. Again, do I recommend to pick him up? I would if he was cheaper. If he wasn't a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, it's up to yourself if you want to go through the hassle of trying to get one. I picked mine up from Big Bad Toy Store. I'm not sure if they're still in stock there, but I'll throw a link in the description below to where I picked this one up. I'm generally not sure how Super 7's Comic-Con exclusives tend to fare in terms of secondary market prices. I know the Godzilla that they did, which is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, is at least a 30% markup on the secondary market. I really want to get one, and I missed my opportunity with Big Bad Toy Store. They had them up there, and they missed that. So I might try and track one down, because it's based on the comic book, whereas this is based again on a comic book adaptation of an existing figure, which sadly I don't have to showcase beside him. But all in all, really cool figure. If you're a diehard collector of Action Force and G.I. Joe, and you're like a completist, maybe you might want to pick this guy up. If not, the Destro version of this guy would probably just do you, and he's a good bit cheaper. But from what I see, he is a nice figure. So again, do I recommend it? I do, but it's up to yourself if you want to track one down. So all in all, I hope you enjoy this video review and my little showcase of his original idea concept to my custom concept and the figure that we now have. Hopefully Hasbro might follow suit and give us a special edition classified figure painted like this as well. It's hard to tell because I don't know if they still have the Action Force license, because there's that other 6-inch Action Force line, so there could be issues with licensing and names and stuff. But all in all, I do like this guy, and he looks really cool. And again, the Red Shadows are really a cool line, or a cool concept of figures, even though they were limited in articulation for some of the figures. But it's not too bad. I'm going to wrap this up here, because otherwise I'm just going to waffle on more about this particular line, and we're already into the 20-minute mark. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video review. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you have an awesome action figure day. Cheers.